Call the meeting to order. Okay, I'd like to call the Public Outreach Committee meeting to order at 2 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Director Paul,
Here.
Director Lindor has not arrived yet, and Chair Edwards.
Here.
Okay, we have 2 committee members present.
Okay, thank you. Any additions and corrections to the agenda?
Nothing. We're
All right.
all good.
All right, we'll have public comment. Do we have any public out there, Sarah?
No, we do not have any members of the public in attendance.
Okay. First item, action item is minutes from the last meeting.
I move to adopt them.
And I'll second that.
I guess we have to do roll call vote.
Do we have do a roll call?
Yes, you do.
All right, thank you. Just gonna make sure you get paid.
Appreciate it.
Director Paul,
Yes.
Chair Edwards,
Yes.
minutes are adopted 2-0.
Okay. Next item, action items, general manager. What's the first one?
Hang on, my agenda just blacked out on me. Is this the which one? Mike, read your agenda.
Status of the public outreach from Phil.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure you all get paid, so step it up. Okay,
Here we are.
yes, go ahead there, Phil.
All right.
Yes,
Okay. This is the public outreach report for the last 2 months. So let's get started.
okay, can you let me know if it's in the presentation mode? Is that good now?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. The first one, October 3rd, was Mulch Madness, which we repeated again. We had done it 2 months prior and we had a great turnout. I don't know what the turnout was for this. Stephanie, do you know?
Actually, I don't know what the numbers were. I know that there were, it was again a very well attended event.
Great.
But comparatively, I don't know. I do know we had a lot of staff there.
Yeah.
We had some crazy drivers going into the mulch areas. But I think everybody thought it was very worthwhile.
Great. Okay, and that was advertised in the Monterey County Weekly and the Pinecone. Next. And then we also ran a newsletter on it as well. And as you can see, we got 6,900 opens on our send, which is 29.4%. And good is considered somewhere between 20 and 30%. So we're doing fine.
Good.
And then, of course, we had the PWMX launch. And this was the full page ad that we ran in both Monterey County Weekly and Pinecone, which got a lot of attention by virtue of the size.
I love it. I love the message there as promised, with a history of so many broken promises. This is great. I mean, not by us, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
On this one, hey, Mike, didn't they do a video or something on this showing us the project? Or
Yeah. It is now on the website.
it's on the website. Let's try to get it on YouTube.
Well, it's not on YouTube. It's actually there's a couple of areas, a couple of places where it could be posted. They posted it on Vimeo Video or YouTube is another place where videos can be posted. And so we have simply picked it up, and we have a link to that on our website, which I'll get to a little bit later on.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, we got some attention there. We wanted to focus in on the primary things, the on time, on budget, online next week, and the fact that, now we were taking care of 60% of the Monterey Peninsula's drinking water needs. So let's move on to the next one there. And then we picked this up a week later on the newsletter, and with a link to more content about the Pure Water Monterey. And again, we got 31% opens, 6,600 out of 2,100 or 21,000. And we got 215 clicks on that, learning more about the project. This time we focused in a little bit. I wanted to make the connection between Monterey One Water and MPWMD through Dave and Paul on the bottom there. So move on to the next. And then we ran social media. Facebook, we boosted it. We got more likes on this than anything that we've run in the last 2 years or last 3 years. So that was great. 123 likes. Instagram, we got 17 likes, but it wasn't boosted. And as you know, boosted just means that it's expanded outside of the area that we automatically get by virtue of the people who follow us. So this actually expands it to a 10-mile radius, with Monterey at the center. Imagine Monterey at the center and then a 10-mile radius around that. So good response. Good response. And then we ran in the newsletter, we ran this piece on new housing and jobs for, we were focusing on modifying the CDO. And again, we got a great response in this one. We got 36% this time, 7,700 out of 21,000. And we got 100 clicks too, people that are interested in seeing reading the district application, which was on the bottom. And then we ran this in social media too, in Facebook and Instagram. And I wasn't able to boost this one, tried to boost it, but some ads that they consider political in nature, they simply won't run. And this was one of them. So,
Wow.
Yeah. Not always clear on what their criteria are, but it prevented us from boosting it.
Phil, I actually have a question.
Sure.
These social media postings, I know that they're shareable. Are they shareable to anyone that?
Excuse me just a sec. Excuse me.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
No, I know that they're shareable. I'm assuming they're shareable to anyone. Like if I shared them off of my Facebook page or my Instagram page, they go to all of my friends that are on my Facebook page.
That's correct.
So that technically boosts it even beyond our 10-mile radius.
That's correct.
So it might be a good idea to encourage board members to share them with on their own Facebook pages.
That's a great idea.
I'll do it.
Yes, you board members. Okay, great. Then on to the next one, and then we had the reducing water use. Water use is down, way down, and we ran that in Monterey County Weekly and Pinecone. Got a lot of reactions, mostly positive, but there were some negative too, as Dave brought to my attention.
Actually, I thought it was quite interesting. So I get the responses.
Oh, yeah.
In my inbox, and it was about 50-50 people who were really excited and happy, and then a bunch of people who were concerned that they were paying so much for water, and if water use was down, why is it so expensive?
Exactly.
And you said, that's a good question.
So you emailed them Cal Am's phone number, right?
So how did you respond to that concern?
Actually, Dave did a very nice response. And for the most part, unless I feel the response really is warranted, I'm not responding to those people because it is coming from our mailing list. But there was one person that Dave did a very nice response to, and just explained, you're paying for that things today cost more than they did in 1957, basically.
Yeah. Basically threefold that you're replacing pipes today in today's dollars that were put in 30 and 40 years ago, that just like everything, inflation, CPI is up for chemicals, labor, energy. And then it kind of concluded with perhaps under public ownership, water rates won't go up as fast.
Mm. Good.
And the very fact that, some people out there assume that we have some control over the cost of the water. Got some noise in the background there.
That's
Somebody,
me, I'm sorry. Let me
you
mute
know,
myself.
Yeah, that Monterey Peninsula Water Management District has some control over the water when we don't, or the cost of the water and we don't. So
Yeah, I was listening to that. That was one of the concerns that occurred to me, that people could assume that because
right.
So I'm glad you added. If you're going to respond, you added the
I
part
did.
about public ownership. You did. Okay,
I did. Yeah.
good.
And okay, so again, another 30% out of 21,000. And let's move on to the next one there. And then Facebook, I boosted this, and we got 25 likes on it on Facebook, and probably, I guess, about 8 or 9 dislikes in the comment area. On the issues that we were just discussing there, which is not outrageous, but certainly worthy of a response. And then Instagram, we got 5 likes. And then we made some updates to the Peninsula News. Obviously, the update about the launch of Pure Water Monterey, and also the fact that Amy Anderson retired on the right-hand side. And the one on the left, one on the center basically links to a video that we have on the, where is it? It's on the steelhead in the, I can't remember the name of the, where is it there? It's under the environmental stewardship drop down. And we've got the video is under the, the steelhead. I can't remember exactly what the name of it is, but
yeah,
it's right there. And then we linked the new video from that Monterey One Water had produced under the water supply to Pure Water Monterey. And if you go to the next one, you can just see there it is. Let's talk about Monterey Peninsula's water management, a new water supply. And I just modified that, specifically that thumbnail for our page. It sort of matches in style the video that they've done. So that is now prominently displayed on the Pure Water Monterey page. It's a great little video. For those of you who haven't seen it, they did a terrific job.
well,
Yeah, I remember it from the event, the ribbon cutting event.
Yes, correct. It was the one in the ribbon cutting event. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
so it's on that page that we can connect, because I want to look at it.
Yeah, have a look at it. It's on there.
Yeah, there's a link. There's a link on the district's homepage too.
Okay,
In
Yeah,
the
Ex
in the
Excellent.
description. Yeah, right next to the photo.
yeah.
all right.
We
Thank
could
you.
put that on our Facebook, individual Facebook pages too,
Good.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's it.
Great.
We
Okay,
got a lot of great responses in the press in the last 60 days, which I was delighted to see. A lot of them sort of picked up on the reduced water use, I noticed, both in the case of the Herald and in the case of Pinecone. I assume they contacted you, Dave. You provided them with more information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they were good pieces, both of them.
Somebody over the weekend following when it was up asked me, was that car really a 1958? I assured him it was.
The 58
Okay.
Chevrolet Impala.
And I have to state, I, for one, being the newbie in the group, appreciated the June, I think it was June 6th posting where you talked about the gallons of water. Because, I mean, I'm learning what, acre foot is now, but I noticed that a lot of my friends and neighbors are like, I don't know how many gallons of water that is.
Yeah.
You know, and when it's put into numbers, like we have this many gallons of water in reserve, they're like, oh, so we're not, we're not drowning in a drought. We're not. You guys have got it handled, and that I appreciated that. I appreciated the 17. I think it was like 17 million gallons of water, or something like that said on the June 6 post. And I appreciated that, and I know that a lot of my friends did too. I think it says over 2 billion gallons of water is
Yes.
now stored in the seaside aquifer, and that made a huge difference, not just for me, but for a lot of my people that I forwarded that information to. I appreciate that. I just want to state that as the newbie who took a while to learn what an acre foot was.
well, I tell you, your 1958 article or email blast got a lot of pickup. When I read it in the Herald, I said, "Hey, that really moved through there." So,
Yep.
good one. Keep doing stuff like that. Bring us back in time.
Well, thank you. Well, it was, simple and direct, gets the point across.
Well, you did a good job with that one.
Anybody could have figured that one out.
But a lot of people
Maybe
out
when
here don't know that we went all the way back to 1958 levels. So we need to keep putting that kind of stuff out.
Yeah.
maybe when that landscaping demonstration project is done, we can have a nice picture of that in one of our newsletters.
And I'll finish this one at the end of this. But any more comments on outreach?
Great
right,
job.
Okay.
Phil, yeah, good job. Good job. Keep up the good work.
Chair Edwards, we do have one member of the public that joined. However, he does not have his hand raised. I just wanted to let you know.
We're asking him if he want to make any comments, just raise his hands. Thank you.
Excuse me just for a sec. Maybe Dave wants to add something about how things are going with the CDO. I mean, given the fact that we got some major reactions to that, and
that's the next one item that we're going to talk about.
Go ahead, shoot away.
That's all right. Go ahead, there, GM.
Yeah, this is just an information item, discussion item. In addition to tomorrow being a full month from when we sent in the application, we've been reaching out for letters of support. The statistics in the staff report updated a little bit. We've received one that was approved, and we're waiting to see one of the other ones that's approved. Mike, you haven't gotten Del Rey Oaks' letter yet, right? Yeah. We did get the city of Monterey. They debated quite a bit over which version. So in your staff report, you see the two different versions. They're virtually identical. One has a paragraph in support of desalination, which for obvious reasons, there are some business groups and other groups out there that want to reaffirm their commitment to desal. Over at the city of Monterey during a city council meeting, there was a motion that failed to include the language supporting desal. And then ultimately the neutral version prevailed 4-1. We're waiting on a few people to return back to town to do their letters, but we're still just scratching the surface. We're about 25% of the asks that we've gone out for have responded with a letter. So we'll be probably next week after the holiday rallying back around to try to get at least another 25% in, so we're at 50%. We're going to need to do some specific outreach because some of the housing advocates that we've talked to don't really know the local situation here. So it's probably going to take a little more explanation. But in general, we're getting pretty good response. The state has not indicated how they intend to address this. So that's going to be my follow-up tomorrow with the two staffers who are kind of charged with pushing this through. There'd been some debate whether it would go through the administrative hearing office or just remain with staff and go straight to the board. Even during the ribbon cutting, one of the state board members expressed concerns that it not go to the administrative hearing office because they have a lot of things on their plate. And the director would really like to move this one along. So I thought that was a positive signal from that director. I mean, we were kind of joking that, that the ribbon cutting was such a positive event that the board would have lifted the CDO that day if they were all there. But anyway, we know it's going to be a lengthy process, probably no better than 4 months and could be 6 months. That in turn has an impact because the city of Monterey, oddly, the second item they had on their city council meeting, oddly is saying they're not going to release any water until there's action on the CDO by the state, even though they've released water for an increase in use style project at least 13 times since the CDO went into place. Now they're saying, oh, well, if we release water, that's an intensification of use, and the CDO doesn't really allow for an intensification of use. And we have to tell them, no, it does. It just doesn't for a change in zoning or a change in use. And here's how the states define change in use. So there's a bit of a reluctance, I would say, by the city of Monterey to fall back into the habits that they've had since 2009. Even the Van Buren Street housing project was clearly an increase in use at an existing service connection due to a change in use. So they've done all the things that they now say that they don't want to be forced into having to consider. But I've kind of turned our arguments over to Landwatch, and they've got an ad hoc housing group that, they'll try to deal with that issue. Back on the CDO side of things, we're trying to get a meeting with the new president of CalAm just to kind of double down on what we did at a lunch with the old president of CalAm. And Sarah Leeper, who got appointed, we've known her for quite a while, and it'll be good just to reach out to her on kind of the places where we overlap and work together. We do a very good job kind of at the street level here, working with their personnel and our personnel. And so we're looking to get a meeting with her to just kind of reminder of how the Monterey Peninsula is a little different than Duarte or Thousand Oaks or some of the other locations they serve in California.
Well, make sure you invite her to one of our meetings so we can meet her. all of them, since I've been here, been in front of the board and said hello.
Yep.
Then we say goodbye to them. So,
yeah, this will be the number 4 since I've been here.
okay, well, the past ones came in front of the board for a few minutes.
Yep.
So
Dave, have you I assume you've interacted with her then?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think Stephanie has probably some. Fran has, Dave Laredo has. So
Okay.
Years. Many years, I should say, not 4 years, but many
Oh,
years.
really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
But back to the letters, Dave and Phil, can we put something out later on? The community probably know about these letters inside the councils and city council members, but the public outreach, and that's what I'm talking about. Let them know that the city has helped them out, but let them know that the city has signed on of getting that CDO lifted some kind of way.
What do you think about that, Dave? Maybe sending a newsletter out on that. Is that what you're thinking?
Something that we can let this community know that the cities are working with us.
Yeah.
And those that not working with us, they can pick up on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we get a few more under our belt, I think we can do that.
Okay.
We've got Mike's got a mailing list he put together of all of the parties. So we can go to the ones for letters that have been received and just confirm that they're okay with us kind of publicly thanking them.
Okay, great.
I think they appreciate that because it's hard for them to put it out there, but it's a little easier for us to put it out because we're the ones that asking.
Yep.
That's a great point, Alvin.
Through the chair, if I may.
Go ahead.
How are we doing with the various business groups, hospitality and other business groups that we were hoping to get some agreement support on?
Yeah, we've gotten, I think, only one business group, the Coalition of Peninsula Businesses. Pebble Beach has made an inquiry, so I think we're going to get a letter from there. The Carmel Chamber has a separate form to fill out, and that form's been filled out to make the request. I think we're getting pretty good signals from the Monterey Peninsula Chamber, and we have to reach and from the realtors. The realtors obviously will include the support for decel in their language. I think we need to reach out again to the Hospitality Association. We did Mike did a follow-up email about a week ago, so we're trying not to badger them, but another round of follow-up will happen.
Another way not to badger them is put something out there in the paper or put an email blast out there. Yeah. They know that we're asking them, and we know that we're telling people who's supporting and probably who ain't supporting by not seeing their names come out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Do we have a renters advocates group on our list?
Yeah, we sent it to Esther Malkin. So she actually sent us a note over the weekend, or maybe it was Friday, on Antioch's desalination plant. So she, the communication's there. She knows what we're asking of her, but she's going to need to be reminded.
Okay. Anything, Rebecca, you got anything on this one?
I do not. No. Sorry. Hang on.
Okay, that's all right.
There I am.
All right.
I'd just like to say to Dave, and I'm sorry, Alvin, just like to say to Dave and Mike, if there's something we can do, the board members can do to help with a particular outreach to a particular contact or city or something.
Yeah, actually, your city may come in handy. Matt Mogensen, your city manager, I don't know, Mike, how would you describe it? It didn't look like he was energetically pursuing this.
He had a lot on his plate at the current time.
Yeah.
Will you let me know if it seems like some, some outreach from me might raise his level of interest or whatever, I'm happy to do it. So you just tell me if and when you think that would be a good time. I'll do it. I could also reach out to Nick Smith.
Yeah. Well, Nick and Matt were the two recipients of our request. So, so they'll be hearing from Mike again probably next week.
Okay. Well, let me know then.
Yeah.
One or the other of you.
Yeah, it's not, it's not a rapidly advancing situation. So,
Yeah.
we originally said by December 1st and so forth, but even in the month of December is still going to be timely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's go back into the agenda a little bit. Dave, are we going to discuss the formation of the citizen panel on water issues?
Mike has done some more work on that. I think he's going to share with you some thoughts. I don't think we're ready to pull the trigger on it yet, but go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. So we discussed this at the last public outreach committee. So I just kind of started thinking about it, did some research on it, just kind of wanted to get some input back on some of these initial concepts and the overview of this possible panel. So I just kind of set it up like, what would be the objective if we were to pull this agenda together or this group together. And so my objective I had was engage citizens, ratepayers, and stakeholders in understanding the district's policies, regulations, as well as the strategies we're implementing to manage the local water resources efficiently. And so it's kind of a big, broad objective, but I think that's kind of the point, is just to kind of lay it out and saying, hey, this is what we're trying to educate these individuals about. So as far as the meetings are concerned, and obviously I have to touch base with Mr. Laredo there, but we're trying to avoid the Brown Act as far as all the requirements. We still want to have all the information is transparent, it's freely available, but it's just not set up so that it would have to go to that level of a Brown Act meeting, just because a lot of this is just volunteers. We're looking to probably do this on a 1-year pilot program to see if we can accomplish this between 2 to 4 meetings in that year. And then we kind of started looking at, well, who could be our potential candidates? How do we identify those? And so we thought about, we could solicit some of the local government affairs committees from the different chambers, realtors, business coalition, things of that nature. We could also ask the board members to potentially nominate somebody from their district. And well, if we still need some additional interest, we could open it up and ask for the individuals who are interested in local water resource management to potentially apply. So those are just some of the thoughts about how we could identify candidates. Some of the topics we thought about as to what would be educational for most people that may not have a deep understanding of water on the peninsula. Obviously we could kind of do like a board member orientation where we go through each of our departments. So that's water demand, water supply, and environmental resources. And then the next set of meetings, we could do some advocacy as well as some public outreach. Some of the things that we've talked about here today, what's been successful, what hasn't been successful. Obviously, we could also do collaborative projects, what we've done on the Seaside Groundwater Basin, what we've done with the Pure Water Monterey project, and things that have been overlooked, but also have an impact on those local water projects that the district has helped support. And then the other one, the big one, would be the efforts on Measure J, how that came about, what we've done since then, and where we stand. And so those are some of the 4 concepts or 4 topics. And then we kind of thought about how would we conduct these meetings. And so we had a little bit of a discussion about format. So you could bring all these individuals to the administration office. We sit in the conference room and kind of talk about it, whether we're doing presentations. And then we could also break off and go to some of these interesting sites that we manage or are partners in to kind of break up the meeting day. So it's just not all classroom. It could be a classroom plus a field trip. So you could do a couple of ones along the river. You could go to the fish weir. You could go to the fish rearing facility. You could go out to the aquifer storage and recovery site, and then also kind of look at some of the local stormwater diversion projects that are ongoing in and around the peninsula. So that's just a quick overview of the concept of a citizens water panel. And obviously, we're open to take any questions and comments you might have.
Okay, the first one is the Brown Act. All our committees and stuff for years been under the Brown Act. I would hate to see us get from under that. That's that transparency. When people start hearing that you're not under the Brown Act, they think you're about to do something that they don't like. You know, that's my saying. So, Dave, could you help us with that? Was the last committee under the Brown Act?
Well, yeah, we operate all our committees as if they're under the Brown Act, but actually formally only the Finance and Administration Committee is.
That's right.
So I think this would be the same model, which is make sure that there's freely available minutes of the meeting, that it's posted, all the same steps. But I think we haven't just decided if it's going to be only in person or if we're going to accommodate remote meetings or if it's going to be a combination of the two. I don't see us settling on a structure probably until after the first of the year. What I want to do is take the bullets that Mike was reading from his own outline, put it into a staff report for probably the January board meeting, and have the full board say, yes or no, if they would like us to accept letters of interest, and then use that perhaps to make a voter division appointment for each board member. If we agree that it's going to be a hybrid between casual citizens and other board government affairs reps. So still kind of a work in progress, but Mike's got a very good structure that he's building around it. But it's going to be run like it's a Brown Act meeting, but maybe we don't box ourselves into being subject to the Brown Act if we,
Okay, well, I don't want it to become like the last 152 committee. I followed that for a few years, and the only thing they got in there basically do is gaggle about desal or what's what. So and where the money's at.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see that one coming back up again.
Yeah, the problem we're going to get is there's both sides of interested parties out there, and
that's right.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So
go ahead.
Can I just add?
Yeah.
It occurs to me if we do something like this, that maybe it would be worth reaching out to CSUMB and possibly some other colleges in the area to see if student participation might be of interest to students who are studying environmental planning, environmental sciences, public policy, that sort of thing. And I know CSUMB has a public service part of the curriculum where they all do some sort of public service, either nonprofits or I think they can do it in a public agency. So, and it might. So, just a thought that we could ask the reach out to the management of those departments in the colleges or the right deans or whatever and see if they might want to offer that to interested students as a way they could meet as part of their work at the school.
Yeah.
And it would also, might interest some younger people in what we do who might, later want to work for the district.
Yep. That's mostly where our summer staffing comes from anyway, is CSUMB. We actually do speak at a couple of their seminars that two different professors put on, and occasionally we've had student inquiries for research projects. So it wouldn't be difficult to just extend that out.
Good.
Okay.
And that's it.
Anything? Is that it?
Well, Mike, do you have any particular questions where you'd like to run it, to some input?
Yeah, I'm open to, if you have other questions, I appreciate this feedback that I've gotten already.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I've had some experience in doing some of these educational type of seminars in the past, and just to gauge just how much interest you have. Obviously, you'd like to have an idea of who's going to come, so you can prepare for that. You don't want to say, "Hey, come to this meeting," and you get 300 when you can only have space for 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not. Go ahead.
I would like very much the idea of the field trips and to actually go see the system. In fact, a lot, most of those things I've never seen.
Well, it's funny. That was what my comment was going to be. Even though it's a departure from this agenda item, we haven't forgotten the promise that we made actually when Mark Eisenhart was still with us, that we need some field trips for our board of directors. So that will be coming. Probably break the system up into two parts, but seeing the fish weir and seeing the fish rearing facility with fish in it is a good understanding of the river and what's going on over there. And Becca hasn't gotten to see ASR yet, and the backflush pit and so forth. And so we will, if the weather cooperates, and we're in the ASR season, it might be fun to go over there while it's noisy, and maybe even on a day they're back flushing, so you can actually see something going on.
And I have a new knee now, so I can go.
That's right.
Good. Hey,
through the chair, I had a couple of points. One is on the Brown Act issue, and I'm sure Michael and his dad can address this as well. A citizens panel isn't necessarily a legislative body nor government officials, so it can kind of, slide under that Brown Act requirement. And then I forgot what my second point was. It'll come back to me when I hang up. Sure. Oh, I know what it was. We had talked about town hall meetings within each of the districts, and to address Karen's concern, about, inviting 30 people and 300 people, or I'm sorry, your concern, Michael, was that if you have town hall meetings, you're not limited to 30 people. You can do these educational things within each of the districts, and then have your district representative, your board rep, kind of help with spearheading that, finding a location, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, it's another way to connect with the public.
Dave, when are y'all planning on our next planning session, strategic planning session?
Sarah got a date, and I can't remember what it is. I think it's February 6th.
No, I believe it's later.
Later.
I'll have to look it up, but it is in February. Or
y'all, please don't make it 90 days into the year. Come on now. we got to do better. We do better. This is working on my last year.
Yeah, we put out dates that were the last few Fridays in January and the first few Fridays in February. I think that's where we landed.
Well, it ain't got to be a Friday. It ain't got to be a Friday. Come on now. let's get it earlier in the year if we can. It don't have to be a Friday. It can be a Wednesday or Thursday. Have a 4-day weekend or something.
Well, probably staff has meetings all the other days, so I'm
They
guessing
don't have that much. They can cut it out. All right. Well, because I know we want to discuss what we're going to need for the media for public outreach in the future.
Yeah.
So that's something that, my saying if we can get that done earlier so we can have that discussion.
Dave and committee members, it's scheduled for Friday, March 6th.
Oh, March 6th. I said February 6th. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I have to live with that. We ain't gonna do any better.
Well, we did
no.
send out that poll, and the February dates just did not work for everybody. So that was the date we had most participants.
Same location?
No, we're gonna look for something new.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So we couldn't get a date sooner than that, huh?
Not the poll that I sent out, the February dates was very limited in attendance.
Okay. That's too bad. Okay. Good. It's good. It's important for me to know because I'm going to be away that week, but I can plan to be back in time for this.
Okay. I gotta go. I got a doctor's appointment.
Yep.
Okay.
If we have anything else,
Nope,
Karen
that was
and
it.
Rebecca, y'all can carry on, but I'm gonna leave.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Alvin.
Thank you, Alvin.
Yeah, thank you all.
Are
Talk to
we
y'all later.
adjourned?
I think we're set. So
Is that it?
Okay.
that is it.
Okay.
Okay.
Adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
all.
all.
Folks.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.